Well, hello and welcome once again to the DCL podcast, where we're inviting you to sit back, relax, and we'll be on our way shortly. Well, welcome back to the DCL podcast, your podcast to help you and your family cruise a little smarter, and we are going to turn our focus today to another mini episode. We're going to talk a little bit about one of those exclusive clubs that only a few people get to go to on board the Disney ships, and today we're talking about the Disney Edge, part of the kids' clubs that are on board the ships. And to do that, I've brought with me my special guest. I'd like to welcome back to the show. It's been a while since you've talked last time. Welcome back to the show, Alex. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
When was the last time we talked, do you think?
Well, I think it may have been the Mediterranean episode, but I think the last time I was on here was on the Norwegian cruise episode.
Yeah, but Norway was actually before the Mediterranean, so actually The Mediterranean was sooner, and I think we talked about it then. But we are going to talk a little bit about the Edge. This is the first time on our sailing in November on the Disney Dream where you got to spend some time in the Edge, right?
Yes, it was.
So, just overall, what was your thoughts? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I had a good time. Met some cool people.
Okay, well, let's talk about the Edge. The Edge is the Tween club, so ages 11 to 14. I think technically it's 12 to 14, but what Disney does is, and then the Oceaneers Lab and Club range from 3 to 12. Disney does kind of like an in-between age there, where if kids are old enough, or maybe they've got an older brother or sister that's going to be up in the Edge instead, and they want to hang with them, they kind of give parents and kids the option to either stay down in the club, in the lab, or to move up to the Edge. And on this one, you were 11 and you decided to go to the Edge, because we checked out both the Edge and the club. What did you think between the two?
I thought the Edge was much better than the club, based on experience.
Well, and it's not so much that there's anything wrong with the club, it's just you're older now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you were looking for something maybe a little bit different. Like, we went down and checked out the club. They had an open house that first day, checked out the Star Wars stuff, but kind of like after playing around with that a little bit, I think you realized that you wanted to do something a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the Edge. The Edge and the Disney Dream, it's a little bit different in the four different ships. The Edge and the Wonder and the Magic, in all honesty, is kind of an afterthought. It used to be down, I think, on deck 2, and it was on one of the lower decks, like deck 2 or 1 even. And they decided to get rid of. They had an arcade.
The arcade.
Yeah, they had the arcade up on deck 9. And they got rid of the arcade. Matter of fact, the very first, do you even remember the arcade? It was on the Wonder. Yeah.
No.
I know you're too small. But Andrew and I actually went in and played a couple video games and stuff like that. But they got rid of the arcade and they put the Edge up there on the Magic of the Wonder. And it's a pretty small space. Have you even been in it? I'm not even sure if you have on those ships.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, but what's cool about the Dream and the Fantasy is where the Edge is located, and tell everybody where the Edge is located.
It is located in the back funnel.
And what's kind of cool about it?
So since it's in the funnel, there's a massive window looking out of the funnel, so you can look down in the bar.
You can look down in the bar. Yeah, it's a much bigger space, a little bit more thought out than what they've done with the Magic of the Wonder. So the Edge on the Fantasy and Dream is a much nicer space. Okay, so let's kind of talk about some of the things that they do in the Edge. So to be able to get up there, we had to go up there day 1. You don't need a wave band, do you, anymore?
No, you do not. You just need to give them your Key to the World card.
And what do they do?
They put a little sticker on your Key to the World card to confirm that you were supposed to be there.
And do they check that every time you come up there?
Yes, they do.
Okay. So do they recognize you? I mean, we were on a shorter trip, so...
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So we were on a little bit shorter trip. It was only a 4-night. I think, like, when you get on the 7-night ones, you probably get to know the counselors and some of the kids a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's how you get into the Edge, is you've got to have that sticker on there, so that kind of controls it and everything like that. How many kids do you think were up there usually on our sailing?
Usually around like 7 to 10 kids.
7 to 10 kids. And what are some of the different things that they have up there in the Edge for you guys to do?
They have 2 Wii U's. One of them plays like basic old Wii games, which I spend most of my time on. Then they also had a Wii U that had Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart 8. They also had a foosball table. And sometimes they would set up a table tennis table. They had an Xbox. I'm pretty sure it was an Xbox One. Every once in a while, they would get together and you could play like some fun card games, or like one time we played bingo actually up there.
And I was looking for you. I can't even remember. I think we're gonna go to the show or for dinner? No, it was for dinner. Yeah, to get ready for dinner.
Thanksgiving.
Was it Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
So we couldn't find it, Alex, and it's a whole long story. His phone wasn't working on board the ship, so we had a little technical Disney with its IT stuff and the miraculous IT stuff. Your phone did not work for some reason. We got to get that figured out before our next sailing. But I went up there and you guys were playing bingo. Could you win anything?
Well, yeah, there were multiple prizes. There was a hat, a water bottle, a pair of sunglasses, and a wristband.
Oh, kind of cool. So I remember the hat. I remember seeing some of the hats that they've given away in the past. What were they cool?
Yeah, kind of. It was basically just like a basic blue hat with the Edge brand on it.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What were some of the Wii U games that you liked playing? Some of the classics then? Definitely
either Wii Sports or a Wii Resort.
Wii Resort? Yeah, I remember that game. So I don't know if anybody still has Wii or not. Do a lot of people play Wii?
My good friend Kellen has it.
Okay. Do you guys play it when you go over there?
Yeah, we basically do that every time.
All right. And then Smash Brothers is still kind of popular, right, with the kids?
Yeah, Super Smash Bros.
If they had any other type of video game up there, what do you think they should add?
I think they could probably also add like a PlayStation.
Uh-huh. What about it? Well, you said they had an Xbox already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They had a dance floor too. Did they do any dancing while you were up there?
Oh yeah, we had a karaoke tournament.
Really?
Up there, and some people would dance to the karaoke.
Did you sing at all, or?
No, I did not.
Was it fun or was it kind of lame?
It was okay.
All right. So one of the things that I know they do like on the longer sailings is a lot of times they'll have like some different scavenger hunts and whatnot. Did they have anything like that?
Yeah, I did look at the schedule. They did have a scavenger hunt going on, but I was not in the Edge when that happened.
Okay. And how do you find out what's going on in the Edge? How did you find out?
What I did is I looked in the Disney Cruise Line app. Basically what it is, I opened up the app, I went to the kids clubs section, clicked on Edge, and there was a whole schedule of what was going on for the day and the days to come.
Okay, and then did you heart the ones that you wanted to go, or did you just kept checking it each day?
You kind of just kept checking it. There wasn't really a system to favorite any.
All right. Well, you can do that on the app. You can like hit it, you know. So
there is?
Yeah. So you there's like a little heart. You hit that. You touch it, and so when that activity comes up, it'll give you like a 15 minutes or something, 5 minutes prior or something like that. It'll give you a little notice. You go, hey, the scavenger hunt's about to start in the Edge. You can go up there and check it out.
Oh.
So a couple other questions for you. One of the big things that I know that most people recommend is for kids to, if they're going to go up there and they're kind of by themselves like you were, is to go to icebreakers, and that usually happens the first day, right after dinner, I think. And sometimes they have it twice because some kids are going to the early dinner, some kids are going to the later dinner. Did you go to the icebreakers?
Yes, I did.
And what did they do for that?
They basically just put everyone that was in the Edge at the time in a big circle and just asked us about a bunch of questions about like what's our name, where we're from, what's our favorite color.
Do you remember who was from the farthest place away? Do you remember? Were we?
Oh, no, I think there was a kid from, like, Ohio.
Well, Ohio's closer to Florida than Oregon.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Oregon.
No, that's okay. And was there somebody farther away than us, maybe from the West Coast, do you think?
No. I was the farthest kid from Florida.
From Florida? Okay. Was that a good experience then, going to the icebreakers?
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. You gotta... we gave out names. So if there was anyone we wanted to talk to, we could go up and sit and we would know their name, so it wouldn't be as awkward.
Did you feel pretty comfortable after that, like getting to meet some of the kids and stuff?
Yeah, I felt pretty normal.
Okay, because I know at one point I remember seeing you running around the ship with a group of kids. What were you guys doing, remember?
Yeah, this is kind of a funny story. We were playing a game of Manhunt on the 3rd and 4th floor. One round when I was hiding, me and like two or three other kids went and snuck into one of the movie theaters to hide.
So, did anybody find you guys?
No, actually, we won that round. And actually, the new Disney movie Encanto was playing, so I got to see a quick 10 minutes of that.
In between the game, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to our next cruise? Is going to be on the Wonder, so it's going to be 5 days, got an extra day. Are you looking forward to going back to the Edge?
Yeah, I'm looking pretty forward to it. I had a relatively good experience, so.
Fortunately, like I said, it's a little bit smaller club and everything like that. They try and make it a little bit more nautical themed. It's kind of like almost steampunk nautical on the Wonder and the Magic. What would you say the theming was for the Edge on the Dream? Did you have any take on that at all?
It didn't really look like there was much theming. It was kind of just like it was basically just like a modern room with a bunch of stuff to do in it.
All right. How about the counselors? Did you like the counselors?
Yeah, the counselors were pretty fun. One of them really liked my bucket hat that I was wearing.
You came up with something, right?
Oh yeah. So they really liked my my black Walt Disney bucket hat. A few times I would accidentally leave it in the club, and I'd come back and they'd be like, "You're lucky I didn't steal it." I asked them if they would be on our next cruise that we're going on, and it turns out that they would. So after the cruise, we actually stopped by
Vero Beach.
Yeah, so on our way back from the cruise, we stopped by Vero Beach, and I actually bought the counselor a bucket hat. So on our next cruise, I'm gonna go up to the edge and give it to him.
That's pretty cool. Sounds like you had a really good time. So if kids were going to the edge, well, before you do that, did you go up to the Vibe at all? Because sometimes they have those open houses where you can go up and check out the different clubs.
Yeah, I did go in there, but it wasn't really when I was supposed to. Again, while we were playing Manhunt,
Okay.
me and one of the older kids actually snuck into the edge or the Vibe.
Vibe. What was the Vibe like? Is it bigger?
Yes, it is much bigger.
And I heard that they got a smoothie bar. Was that working? Do you know, or were you paying attention?
We were kind of just like we weren't really in the main area. We were kind of like in the hall in between the entrance and the actual Vibe area.
Well, before we get out of here, because we've got about 3 or 4 minutes left to talk about this, what advice would you give for kids that are going on a Disney cruise as far as spending time at the edge? What type of advice would you give them?
Personally, I actually spent a lot of my time on the cruise in there. Just don't be scared to talk to people. Everyone there is pretty cool. If you don't really meet anyone that you like really chill with, the counselors there are really cool and really nice and easy to talk to. So just don't really stress much about it. It's pretty easy to go and hang out.
So if you don't want to hang out with your lame parents, you can go do something else, huh?
Yeah.
Because part of a vacation is you having a vacation too, not just doing what we tell you to do.
Yeah.
Well, thinking about the dream, Alex, let me ask you a couple different things. How many ice creams did you have?
That's a really good question.
How many ice creams per day did you have, do you think?
Probably about 1 or 2.
1 or 2, that's it? A day?
2 or 3.
Okay, 2 or 3. That sounds like a more legitimate answer to me.
9 or 10.
9 or 10. What did you think of the Aqua Duck?
It was pretty fun. Oh, actually, I went on it with my grandpa one time, and you're not really allowed to do this, but I brought my phone in and I took a few quick pictures inside it, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of, you got a couple good videos of that, or pictures of Grandpa and you doing that.
Yeah, it was pretty fun to ride inside. You got a good view of the rest of the ship while you're going through.
What did you think of Thanksgiving on the Dream? Did you like that better, or would you rather be at home?
I would rather be at home because it feels more like private and more personal, but it was nice to be on the ship for it because then you really get to have more of a vacation over winter break off from school. And also the food they had on board for Thanksgiving was actually very good. Yeah,
it was really good, wasn't it? What was some food that you tried that you'd never had before that you liked?
Oh, the filet mignon they had at the first day at, what was it?
Royal Palace.
At Royal Palace. That was really good. I liked it.
Yeah, the filet. Actually, you and I both had that. It was really good, wasn't it? And then last couple questions. What's your favorite thing to do in Castaway Cay?
Either going Pelican Plunge or going out to the little like play structure they have out in the water. Although I'm coming up on my last year's being able to be on there because it's for kids 13 and under, and I am nearly 12.
Really? It's 13 and under on the play structure?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Huh. So that's more fun than running the 5K with your mom and dad?
Yes.
Oh, man, I don't know about this. But I don't know if we're going to be able to bring you back on with you. All this, you're like just hanging in the club, not hanging with us. You don't want to run the 5K with us. Why do you even go on vacation with us?
I mean, it'd be fun to run the 5K if I wasn't with you guys.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, I'll give you the last word, Alex. Any other thoughts about sailing with Disney Cruise Line? Some of your favorite things. What do you like most about sailing with Disney Cruise Line?
The main thing I like the most about it is probably just like the level of freedom you have during it, especially for kids around my age. If you don't want to hang out with your parents, you don't really have to. There's a lot of things that you can go and do by yourself or with an adult. There's just a lot of places to go and explore and a lot of fun activities to do.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on and helping me out with this mini-sode, Alex. I sure appreciate it. And we'll be setting sail in just 2 months on the Disney Wonder over spring break. So if you have some fun on that, maybe I'll bring you back and we can talk about it again, too.
Okay.
All right, well, thanks, everybody, for coming back and taking a listen. Hope you enjoyed this mini-episode talking about the Edge. And for myself, Alex, we'd like to thank you for coming back and taking a listen, and we'll see you next time on the DCL podcast. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
The DCL podcast is not affiliated with the Disney Cruise Line, Walt Disney Company, Adventures by Disney, or Run Disney. All of the opinions expressed on our shows are those of the hosts and the guests who appear on the show. If you have any questions about any of these products, please contact the Walt Disney Company.